Welcome to A Magical Life, Health, Wealth and Weight Loss. I'm your host, Magic Barclay, lead practitioner at Holistic Natural Health Australia and #1 best-selling author. In this podcast, I aim to give you practical tips on how to accelerate and sustain your health, increase your financial, spiritual and emotional wealth, and to look at something that haunts many of us needlessly, weight loss. Now, sit back and enjoy, because it is time for you to create and truly discover a magical life. Welcome back to A Magical Life. I'm your host, Magic Barclay, and today Blair Abee joins us. Blair Abee developed higher consciousness meditation after many years of meditation and yoga and a traumatic year at a new job with a difficult boss who was abusing employees. This forced him to dive deep into his meditation practice to stay sane. As a result, he emerged with new, vibrant ways of coping with life's challenges. He describes himself this way: I am an explorer who has discovered a variety of techniques, tools, and ideas that I think you'll find useful in your own personal development. In short, Blair is an observer, yogi, and a spiritual toolmaker. Blair never intended to be an author. Instead, he spent most of his work life as an entrepreneur and business consultant. Though he began his yoga and meditation practices over 45 years ago, and self-exploration has been his avocation. He has spent most of his adult life in the San Francisco Bay Area and has published 6 books on meditation, mindfulness, manifestation, and related topics. His website is hicmeditation.com. Welcome, Blair.
Thank you so much. I've been looking forward to this interview.
And I've been looking forward to having you. So let's get straight into it. My first standard question for you is, what can your expertise do to accelerate health, not just physical, but also emotional and spiritual health?
My first book, Magic, is on the subject of the amazing benefits of meditation. And what the book focuses on is a couple of things. First, primarily, the research that has been done into the benefits of meditation for mental, emotional, physical, as well as spiritual methods or means or benefits. More than 3,000 studies have been done in recent years, in particular, that show a positive correlation between meditation and the body, the mind, the spirit. I mean, everything from stress, heart disease, psoriasis, many physical and mental and emotional ailments that people have respond positively to meditation. So it's really a very fine way to help improve health and wellness, which, by the way, is going to be the subject of my next book. But the correlation is just amazing, and is something that would be beneficial for people to take a look at.
Terrific. Now, we talk about wealth here as well, and people think wealth is just financial, but it can also be personal and emotional wealth. So what are your top 3 tips to creating wealth?
Wealth, prosperity, abundance is, I think, something that all of us have access to through spiritual means. And in fact, my book on manifestation is a book that focuses really directly on that notion that all of us as spiritual beings, as eternal beings, on higher levels of consciousness, on fifth dimensional levels of consciousness, or in the fifth dimension, have access to the wealth, if you will, that spiritual beings have access to. Everything from love and joy and peace, abundance, awareness, growth, evolution, all of these things really, to my way of thinking, fit into the subject of wealth. Now, in that book, the manifestation book, I have a process that's real simple, real straightforward, and is intended to help people have what they want in life. The process goes like this. I ask, and I'm asking in this case, my soul, my higher consciousness. I ask for the best possible outcome related to the interview that's coming up with magic, the parking place that I need where I'm going for dinner, the job interview that I'm about to go into. I ask for the best possible outcome related to that subject matter, parking place, let's say, and then pausing, taking a deep breath, and getting a sense that spirit has engaged in the request that I've made, and then offering a thank you to my soul, to my higher self, for its participation in my life. Now, it's simple, but you can see the power of it in that, number one, you're asking for the best possible outcome for everybody involved. You're asking for a generalized outcome, not a specific outcome. So notice I'm not asking for a parking place right out in front of the restaurant, because that might not be the best thing for me at this particular moment. Spirit knows better than I do what I need and want for my growth and evolution. And so I'm kind of turning it over, if you will, to Spirit to provide me with that best possible outcome for my growth and evolution. And then I'm thanking Spirit for its participation in my process, in my life. It's a very powerful but simple way of tapping into higher consciousness and for getting Spirit involved in your life and in that which you need and want as you need it for your personal evolution.
Great. And the final standard question is around weight. Many people battle their weight. And so my question is, have you ever battled yours? If so, how did you win that war? And what can you offer the listeners who might be on this journey?
I really never have battled my weight. I've always been fit, and I was skinny as a kid, and I continue to be skinny as an adult and as an older person. But what I say to people about dealing with weight issues is that there are a couple of ways to help with that. One is to be mindful about your diet and the food that you consume. So it's been said, and I believe this to be true, it's been true certainly in my life, that a Mediterranean diet that's high in fiber, high in vegetables, includes some meat, but includes lots of olive oil, is one great way to eat, especially if you're able to eat organically. There was a time that I did a vegetarian diet, but I'm not doing that at the present time. Then I don't consider that to be a key to weight loss. The other thing that I would say about weight loss is how important it is when you eat to eat in a mindful way. So mindfulness meditation takes all forms in your life, if you allow it to, and eating and the result of eating, which is your weight, among other things, nutrition, health, is one way to, if you will, control your weight, manage your weight by eating slowly and mindfully, chewing every bite to its conclusion before taking the next bite instead of bolting your food down. And I have a tendency to bolt my food down sometimes. My wife reminds me that I'm eating too fast and to slow down and to just remember to be mindful. What I found in my life, generally speaking, when it comes to eating, is that if I'm mindful about my eating, if I eat slowly, I don't eat as much because I don't need to eat as much. I don't need to eat for emotional satisfaction, but instead I'm eating to the point where I'm feeling comfortably full. And the best way to do that is to eat slowly and mindfully, and even to be grateful to the whole supply chain that has provided me with the food that I am in the process of consuming.
Great. We've covered a fair bit, and now I want to open the floor to you, Blair. What are some things that you feel the listeners need to hear today?
One of my key messages, if you will, in my books is that you and I and we all are eternal beings. We all are fifth dimensional beings in addition to being three-dimensional beings. And what I mean by that is to say that as human beings, we come to planet Earth to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to have experiences, perhaps to correct karma from past lives, if you believe in such things as I do. And we come from the fifth dimension, sliding into the three-dimensional reality of planet Earth, and we're indoctrinated, almost hypnotized, if you will, by this planet, and even by our parents, our teachers, our spiritual leaders, to be well-adjusted, three-dimensional beings who are successful in life in a difficult place to be. Planet Earth is kind of a difficult place. There's lots of obstacles. There's lots of challenges. It's one of the beauties, if you will, of coming to planet Earth is the challenges, because it accelerates your growth and evolution. But it can be very difficult. And if nobody around you really knows much about higher consciousness, knows much about soul contact, even knows much really about what our master teachers were teaching us, which is that the kingdom of heaven is inside of us, then a lot of us just don't get in any particular lifetime an opportunity to access that part of ourselves. And that's really what my work is about, is offering tools for people to have access to their higher selves, to make soul contact, to realize that they are, in addition to being human beings, fifth dimensional spiritual beings, and that there's more to life than just dog eat dog, scratching it out, competition at all costs, but that instead we are at the same time a single species. We are one, and that we need to learn that in order to survive this seeming freight train that's coming our way in the form of climate change and other major challenges that we're going to be facing in the next 20 to 30 years.
Okay. All right. So, Blair, we love freebies here on this podcast. Before I let you go, what's your freebie and where can we find it?
My freebie is one of my books, an electronic version of one of my books. It's called the Mindfulness Book. And you can get that at my website, which is, as you said, highcmeditation.com, HI meditation.com. And you'll also see all the other books that I've done and podcasts that and the blog posts that I've done and sample chapters and lots of things to do at the website.
Perfect. Blair, thank you for joining us today. We've enjoyed listening to you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for the opportunity.
And listeners, thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast. For now, go forth and create your magical life. Thanks for listening today. Please subscribe to hear future episodes, leave a review, and share this podcast. Drop us a line at A Magical Life Podcast on Facebook and let me know what you would like to know more about. You can find us on Instagram at Holistic Natural Health, that's holistic with a W, or at www.holisticnaturalhealth.com.au. That's where you'll access all sorts of articles, freebies, and more.